Hey guys, Sundown here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia 267 Flames. Now, this has been late because I've been swamped with work, but now that work has finished, I will be completing this review. And this was a dope chapter. Like, just saying it right from the get-go. The cover page we get of Miruko, or Mirko. I'm not sure which one it actually is. I think Miruko is her actual name. I think I might have mentioned this before. It looks awesome. It's a color page. You have some white rabbits in the back. You have her with her blue kind of knee-high, whatever they are. They're not really socks. They're kind of like, I think they go into the mechanics and the heavy-weighted parts of her, whatever foot items she has. But she looks dope with the silver hair, dark skin. And then what I found weird here was it's her left arm here, which has that kind of coating around it with the belts and stuff like that, but it's her right arm, I think, which is missing. I'll clarify that as we go through the chapter, but I thought it was her right arm. Anyway, going into the chapter, what's the first thing we see? We see Hawks talking about if he had to pick a weakness. He's talking to Tokoyami. He's like, if I had to pick a weakness, it would be fire, you know, because even my wings can burn, and the only way he can really counter that is to really attack before a villain can even use fire against him. So he's in a situation right now where none of that can happen. And you can see Tokoyami, he sees an explosion of flame coming from the villain's building, the mansion, and he's just like, ooh, fire. That looks like a little bit of a situation for somebody. And I'm not sure if he saw something that gave him some sort of clue that Hawks would be there. Whatever happened, he was like, I gotta move. So we then go to Hawks, whose wings are being absolutely destroyed. I'm not sure if he can actually grow back these wings, because burns have a very special property, especially with the body of, if you were to burn your skin considerably, it doesn't grow back the way it should do. You scar with the burn quite badly, especially when you're open to when it's an open flame and stuff like this, which is just pure fire being washed over Hawks. It's not something that should heal very well. So I'm not sure if he's actually going to get his wings back, which might be kind of the loss on the hero side here, which is Hawks is out of commission permanently because of his lack of wings. Unless they give him some sort of mechanized wings, which might be an X-Men thing. But Dabi's trying to kick his ass. He's like, how dare you kill twice like that? But you look at Dabi's face, and this is something Hawks mentions. He's like, is that the face of a man who's just watched a friend die? Dabi's just like, he's smiling ear to ear. He seems to be grinning. And it's here really that we find out that Dabi has an ulterior motive. So whereas I thought last chapter that Dabi was like, oh yeah, you're such a cool guy because you're hyping up twice, you're making him feel better, all this good stuff, you know, you're a proper friend to the guys within the League of Villains at least. It turns out Dabi actually is not he doesn't really give a shit about any of them. He's like, all right, I have my twice was part of my master plan. He would have helped me get to where I want to get to, and I'm so sad that he's died now. And you see this really, it's just a really awesome panel. You see his face blacked out. You see his flames just eating away at Hawks, and Hawks mentions here again, he's like, I looked into your background, I looked into Shigaraki's background. You're the only two I couldn't find anything on. How did you know my name? And then we go through this small flashback where we see the guys who were responsible for Hawks' training as a kid. They said to him, you're about to enter a special program. We're going to have to get rid of your name. Say goodbye to it. The training will be rough, but can you handle it? And I thought what was really cool here was Hawks is actually holding the toy, or a toy, of Endeavor. He's holding an Endeavor plushie essentially, and I was like, oh, okay, so he's an Endeavor fanboy. So it's pretty cool that he's been working with him recently, because that's something that's probably been on his wish list for a very long time. He doesn't seem to be like an All Might fanboy, even though he probably has a lot of respect for him. He seemed, as a kid, he's holding that toy specifically. So maybe whatever he learns from Dabi as well is what is part of the surprise. So we're getting a lot of kind of these little bits and pieces of information which are linking Dabi to Endeavor, Endeavor to Dabi, and then putting Hawks in the kind of middle of that, I think, to try and convey information either way. So Hawks as a kid was like, can I be like Endeavor? Can I be a shining light for everyone? He asks again, who are you, to Dabi, with severe burns across his face now. And Dabi says something, and once again it's blacked out because Horikoshi is gonna really rinse this. He's gonna want everyone wondering, who the hell is Dabi? Who is he is he at all related to Endeavor in any way? Whatever he says to Hawks shocks the shit out of Hawks, and Hawks is just like, oh my god, while still being burnt, of course. Dabi says one more time, he's just like, more than twice, more than Shigaraki, more than anyone, you should have kept both your eyes on me. I don't care about the league. I care about my conviction. I'm a single person with a single conviction. I'm going to change the world and continue to make Stain's will a reality. So then he says, I don't give a shit about your life either. See you later, Hawks. And you just see the flame kind of spreading, or about to spread across Hawks' face. And then we get the last part of the chapter, but I'll come back to that. We also see here Gigantomachia. While Dabi's saying all of this, for some reason we go to Gigantomachia, who's holding up his radio now. And I'm not sure if that's suggesting that he heard something that Dabi said. I'm not sure if that's just him about to break out into action for some reason or other. I'm not sure if those two things had any link, but I feel like Horikoshi wouldn't have placed them so close to each other. The Dabi saying he doesn't care about Shigaraki and the League of Villains, and Gigantomachia kind of just sitting there. I feel like there has to be some reason why they were next to each other. We then go to Jaku Hospital, where we know Mirko is getting her ass kicked, and we resume her getting her ass kicked, and she realizes at this point that she's not landing any hits, which is really, really insane. That's really crazy. And actually, no, it was her left arm that had been torn off. Oof, that does not look so great. But yeah, going back to the cover page, you see that it's her left arm which has been replaced. And I'm hoping there is something like that happens, some sort of prosthetic that they can put on, because she does not look like she's in a good condition. But what she realizes here is that she can't land any hits because the what are they called, the high ends, they all seem to have awoken. They seem to have, they're more alert. They seem to be able to identify things quicker. They seem to be, their speech patterns have also cleared up as well. So she's not in a good position where there's like four high ends on her trying to kick her ass at the same time. So she makes an executive decision. She's like, all right, cool, I gotta dip. So she runs, absolutely darts it straight towards wherever she can hear the old man, Dr. What was his name? His name's not Dr. Kuseno. That's a different type of manga. But she goes straight towards Dr. Eggman, I'll call him because I've forgotten his name. And you see here the black sperm looking high end. He says off toward the doctor again, foolish woman. And I was like, oh shit, his speech is cleared up. This goes back to that thing of they've properly awoken now, and they're aware of their abilities. They know how to move. They're thinking, like all cylinders are firing at the right time. So they are completely aware, which is bad shit for Mirko and anybody else who runs in there. So Mirko, as she's running away, her hair gets pulled off. She gets stabbed along the side of her midriff. She's getting her leg hurt once again, and she's just like, all right, I can't focus on the pain. I just got to keep on running. And you see here like a really, really awesome panel where she's like, if you're gonna die, get the job done first. I was like, oh shit, Mirko is bleeding from every orifice. She's like, streaks of blood are flying from her mouth. She is not in a good position, and I'm afraid for whether she'll be able to continue as a hero after all of this, because you see she goes in with this giant axe kick towards the end, and it's being aimed towards Shigaraki's capsule. And what happens, I love the fact that the doctor, his goggles shatter and he just like, glitter just flies out of his nose as he's shocked again by Miroko's presence. She's darting towards his capsule, about to land the dirtiest axe kick we're going to see since Luffy smashed Arlong. But what happens here is that black sperm high end shoots one of his tentacle things straight through her shin, and this is not great. This has gone straight through her like tibia. So I'm not sure. I mean, like, the way that looks, I mean, like, that's the main bone of the shin with the fibula on the side. The way that this is, obviously this is a manga, but the way that injury looks, if it's gone straight through the bone like that, because it might have just gone through the muscle, I can't determine exactly where it's gone through. But as she kicks the kind of glass, which I assume is hardened, of the capsule, her leg should just kind of flop, which is disgusting. But that's the truth of it. But I don't think that's going to happen, because you see that high end come in, he's pushing away the cable, he's like, oh, it's cramped in here. I was like, yo, shit, man, these high ends are like, they are intelligent, they know exactly what's going on, and they're dangerous. They're going to be insanely dangerous. I want to know who's going to actually take them out, because at the end of the chapter you see Mirko going, doing the plus ultra thing. If you're going to die, to get the job done first. She's screaming in pain, but also screaming to kind of reinforce, I'm going to do this. And the reasoning behind it is a hero never ever gives up. And you see the same thing happen for Hawks and his boys, Tokiyami. So you see right at the end, as Mirko says, a hero never gives up. Hawks is being saved by Tokiyami. I think I'm not sure about the condition of Hawks here, because you see flames on Hawks' back, but Dabi isn't there, suggesting that Dabi either evaded Tokiyami, an attack by Tokiyami, or he left Hawks there to die without finishing the job, and that's when Tokiyami came. But when you look at how Tokiyami enters the scene, he's looking towards what you assume is Dabi, and behind him is Hawks, who Dark Shadow is placing his cape over to try and damp out the flames. So Hawks will no doubt he's in a shit position. I assume he's very heavily injured, but I think he's not to the point of death. I think he should be relatively okay. It's just that his wings are burnt, but we don't get to see a lot of him. Horikoshi made sure to obscure a lot of Hawks and his body, but I assume Dabi is still there. The second awesome thing we see is that high end that had his tentacles straight through Miroko's shin. He gets clapped from behind, his face buried into the ground by a huge hulking freaking Endeavor. Just straight flame punches him straight into the ground. That pulls on the tentacle and it rips out of Miroko's shin, allowing her to. And you see here, look at her condition just in that last panel. We only see like the top, like not even third, the top quarter of her body. Obviously with her leg. Her leg's now shot. Her right ear has like a chunk of it missing. Her left arm from like the mid bicep has completely just been torn away. She is not in a good condition. She's smiling with like gritting her teeth with the pain. Her eyes have whited out. She's either gonna, I feel like she's gone too far to fail this now. She's gonna smash the capsule, and I think Shigaraki will be fine. That's the issue. Shigaraki will be fine, but he won't be 100%. He'll only have hit like, what was the percentage we saw last time? 70%. So only 70% of his transformation will be complete, which means I think that's going to be his kind of ultimate kind of failure, which is he didn't ever reach 100%. But I think he'll be strong enough to turn the tides of war, or at least aid in turning the tides of war, especially with Gigantomachia there at his 70%. And I'm not sure whether the doctor will be able to later on boost him up to 100% using different types of medicine or stuff like that. But the whole point was he was in this hospital so that Shigaraki had the best environment to do something like that, to kind of evolve his quirk and his body to be able to take all for one. So that was the end of the chapter. I thought it was a really, really solid chapter. We got Tokiyami coming in to help Hawks, Endeavor coming in to help Mirko, but we're going to need more than that. If not, then we're going to have Endeavor in some serious shit, because Endeavor's going to be up against 4 high ends. And I understand he fought 1 high end and beat him, but we saw the situation he was in after that. He wasn't looking great either. So I'd love to see where this is going. I feel like Fat Gum needs to come back and help out Tokiyami with a couple of the kids that he had. But who's gonna help? Who's gonna help Endeavor? I'm hoping our boy Crust comes in as well. Whichever other heroes were in tow. I think Endeavor had a couple heroes with him as well. Maybe even Aizawa and stuff. I think they were there too, Present Mike. So we'll see how that goes. But I think that over the next few chapters we're gonna get the return of Shigaraki. So we'll see exactly how that goes. I really enjoyed this chapter. So let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought of this chapter and the review. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in a bit.